Let's talk about 5 free agent signings that are still available who could help the Jets. And well. Welcome back to New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm WatchUK99. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch these videos. So NFL free agency is well underway. Nearly every marquee free agent has signed a contract at this point, the vast majority of them anyway. So at this point, you're kind of looking at free agents who might be able to give you a little bit of depth, maybe somebody coming off an injury. You're looking for sort of that lightning in a bottle free agent who can help you out. And there still are quite a few of those free agents left on the market. So with the NFL draft still about a month away, there are some free agents I feel who could help out quite a few teams. But in particular, we're going to focus, of course, on the New York Jets and 5 free agents that are out there on the market that I think could help this team. Quick note on these, I am not including any players who were Jets last year, so I won't be talking about Ashton Davis, Justin Hardy, Connor McGovern, those types of guys. These are going to be outside free agents. All right, so the first one I'm going to talk about is running back. The Jets definitely need a second running back to go along with Breecehall and Izzy Abanikanda, and I have 2 in mind. The first one is Damienharris, who has played with New England and with Buffalo. He had a neck injury last year that limited him to 6 games. He does seem ready to go now. He's only going to be 27 years old this year, which is a little strange to think about. It feels like he's been around a long time. He's averaged over 4.5 yards per attempt for his career, and we know he could catch a little bit out of the backfield. He's not going to break the bank for you. Last year he took a 1-year deal with Buffalo. He never really got to show what he could do over there. Maybe he wants to continue his AFC East tour. 4 years in New England, 1 in Buffalo. Maybe the Jets would make sense. Him playing behind Breecehall, sort of a two-way threat with running the ball and catching out of the backfield. So Damienharris is my first. Now, while we're talking about running backs who can catch the ball out of the backfield, one of the very best in the NFL is jerickmckinnon, most recently of the Kansas City Chiefs. 31 years old. He is a little older, but there are a couple of things I like. First of all, his nickname is Jet. You can't go too wrong with that. But he doesn't have the extensive wear and tear that a bell cow running back would have. There's a lot of people talking about other running backs who are out there right now. J.K. Dobbins gets a lot of love, and understandably so, but we know he has a very extensive injury history. Rashad Penny, I like him, but he's had a lot of injuries too, and he's getting a little bit older. Cam Akers is probably not going to play this year because of an Achilles injury. So a player like McKinnon could make some sense. This year he played 12 games, 21 rushes for 60 yards, not very exciting, but he did have 25 catches on 32 pass targets for 192 yards and 4 touchdowns. That was this year. The previous year, before Isaiah Pacheco really started to emerge, he had 56 catches for 512 yards, 9 receiving touchdowns to go along with 291 rushing yards. I mean, a running back with 9 receiving touchdowns, that is pretty good. And we know Aaronrodgers, he'll take whatever the defense will give him. So if he has to dump the ball all day off to a running back, he will do that. So I think McKinnon can still play. I think he still has a little bit of life in his legs, and he'll be content. We know this. He'll be content to be a number 2 running back behind Breecehall. And maybe he's looking for a new challenge after a couple of years in Kansas City, but I think you could get him for a year and maybe $2 or $3 million. So jerickmckinnon would be another one I would look at. My number 3 free agent I'm going to look at is djchark, the wide receiver. I really feel like I'm on an island with this one here, okay? I know a lot of people like Tyler Boyd. I like Tyler Boyd. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be worth the price tag he's probably going to get. And, again, I think he's a good player, but I think I just have got this thing for Chark that I think he is going to be a good fit. 27 years old, 6'3", 200 pounds. And, he had a pretty good season last year, and that was with Carolina. Their passing game was a dumpster fire last year. He caught 35 passes on 62 targets, 525 yards, and 5 touchdowns. And if this was any functional offense, those numbers would have been quite a bit better. All right, but he could be a very good second wide receiver. He's very, very tough. He knows how to run routes well. He's got a good feel for, field positioning, where he is on the sideline. He can create explosive, big-time plays. And as great as Garrett Wilson is, he is the team's number one receiver, make no mistake about it. But you have Mike Williams playing on the outside, and there have been a few prognosticators talking about Garrett might be a good fit playing inside once in a while. Well, if you do that, then you might want to look at an outside receiver, and maybe djchark could do that sometimes. So you have Chark and Williams on the outside, but Garrett is still your number one target, kind of like a Cooper Kupp, who plays inside or outside. So I think it's just something to think about. But Chark is averaging for his career almost 15 yards per catch. His catch rate is around 55%, which isn't too bad. As far as injuries go, he hasn't had too many really, really bad ones. Probably the biggest one he did have was a broken ankle suffered in 2021. That cost him part of the 2022 campaign as well. Also, I think he has a little bit of a reputation for drops. I think it's a little bit overblown. He's averaging just 3 drops per season over his career and averaging 4 drops per career for the year over his last 4 seasons. Okay, he's no Mike Williams, but I think the drop narrative is a little bit overblown with djchark. So he took a 1-year prove-it deal with Carolina. Maybe he would do the same with the Jets and want to play with aaronrodgers instead of Bryce Young. So I think it's worth considering. Now let's flip over to the defense. I've got to talk about jadaveonclowney. I can't find a better edge option. I'm not excited about Yannick Ngakoue. I don't think he's been that good of a player for the last couple of years. Jerry Hughes, doesn't really excite me either. But the Jets' pass rush is missing a piece after losing Bryce Huff. As great as the cornerbacks are, as great as Quincy Williams was at linebacker this year, as good a leader as C.J. Mosley is, this defense is predicated on the pass rush getting to the quarterback with 4 edge rushers. And in 2023, Clowney, with the Ravens, had a standout performance, logged 43 tackles, including 9 for a loss, 19 quarterback hits, 5 passes defensed, and tied his career high with 9.5 sacks. Also set a career high with 71 total pressures. That ranked 11th amongst edge rushers in the NFL. Also defended the run very well. So Clowney, even though he's 31, he is playing some of his best football right now. So what's the situation here? Who is looking at him? Of course, the Jets have already met with him. Miami, I think, makes sense. And given his history of knee issues, because Clowney's had some knee problems, he might be looking to play on natural grass. His last couple of contracts have been with Tennessee, Cleveland, and Baltimore. All 3 of those teams play on natural grass. I know the Carolina Panthers have interest in him. Clowney is from Rock Hill, South Carolina. They met with him this week, too. They met with him on Thursday. They want to bring him in. Plus, the Panthers have a little more cap space than the Jets do. Panthers have about $15 million. Jets have about $10 million from what I've seen. All right, so Clowney would be a great target, but there are going to be quite a few teams interested in him. And finally, I want to mention a safety, and it's JulianBlackmon from the Indianapolis Colts. A lot of the best safeties have signed. I like that the Jets kept Chuck Clark. They're going to need a little more depth at that position, though. I expect one to come out of the draft, but JulianBlackmon, I think, would be an interesting target. Now, he is a better player near the line of scrimmage. He doesn't have the best recovery speed, but he's very smart, has good football instincts, also has very good lateral movement. He spent some time at cornerback, so he does have a good nose for the football. And this year, he had a really, really solid season. He missed a career-low 7.4% of his tackle opportunities, set career highs in tackles with 88, interceptions with 4, and pass breakups with 8. Now, this past week, he met with both the San Francisco 49ers and the Buffalo Bills. That makes a lot of sense. The Niners have not re-signed to Sean Gibson. We know the Bills are losing both Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer. I don't know if this is a player the Jets are going to look into. He might wind up being a little bit out of the price range. Maybe they just re-sign Ashton Davis and they draft somebody as well. If that's what it comes to, that's fine. But if I'm Joe Douglas, I would at least explore the option of JulianBlackmon. Well, those are 5 free agents still available that I'm interested in. Do you have another free agent that you're looking at that the Jets could get for a reasonable contract that could help this team? Put it right down there in the comments. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you right back here with more content from you know where, the Wicker Chair.